What's going on, everyone? I would love to share with you a trade I made today on my journey to 100K, where I try to take $1,000 to $100,000 as fast as possible via day trading. Fairly new to day trading. This is these results aren't typical. At least I don't think so. I win some, I lose some. I actually have no idea what's typical. But this isn't advice. It's just me sharing my journey to anyone who's out there willing to listen. So let's get into the trade I made today. This kicked off at real quick. Last week we had some losses and we were really timid. I was timid and trading a little scared to a point where I was not really making some solid moves or not making moves at all. And it carried over a little bit into yesterday as well. Yesterday I traded. I didn't make a video on it. I should have, but I can show you if you need to see it. But I made $5 yesterday on a trade. And it was just a very timid trade. I got in. And I was kind of scared I did not want to lose money. Last week I lost quite a bit of money on not getting out of my stop loss, which is a critical part of trading. I think the most important part of trading is having the discipline to accept your loss, accept the fact that you made either a bad decision or your decision didn't work out, and you get out at your stop loss. It's the hardest thing about this entire process. So yesterday when I traded, I just wanted to make sure I stopped at my stop loss. So I set it too tight of a stop loss. It was 3 cents on a penny stock. And it never really hit the 3 cents. And then I got out with like a week profit of $5. And then it ran up like where I probably would have made like $40. But anyway, so this morning I was like, I want to stay aggressive and I want to trade in a way that made me even want to start this challenge, which is very aggressive in the first like 5 minutes of the market, at least for when I can trade at 4 a.m. So that's what we did today with that mental decision that said we're going to use a momentum runner that's running up right at the start. And we're going to or do a micro pullback or a pullback strategy right in the first few minutes if it's possible. Well, luckily today it was possible. And so this scanner is is Warrior Trading. His name's Ross Cameron, one of the top traders, at least that I know of in the world. And currently, I'm running a 2-week trial on the scanner. And what I love about this scanner is that right here, this bottom section is all low float. So it's right here, low float top gainers. So it's stocks that have run up. Let's see if I can find the percentage that they've run up right here. So here's how much they've run up. This is the gap percentage. It's doing gaining, so it must be doing, right here. Yeah, sorry. Change from the close right here. So there's the gap. So like this is the stock I ended up trading, EVTV. It's up 92%. 92%. But what I love about this is it scans for things that have underneath 5 million float. We talked about float before, and I've kind of talked about I don't really understand why I like this strategy, but now I do. Float is the supply, and this is scanning for anything under 5 million shares to be traded. But I'm okay trading anything that has like under 20 million shares to be traded, but 10 or less would be wonderful. But float is a supply. So if you got a low float, say 5 million shares, which is what this scanner is scanning for, and the demand is high, which is usually caused by some news. That's what these little flames are right here. There's news, and then you also have to have some volume, relative volume. There's got to be a few things going on here to make the demand high for, because you can have low float, you can have a small supply, but there's no demand. It's the stock's not going to move up. So anyway, EVTV hits the scanner, Ross's scanner this morning, right about 4 o'clock, and I jump in. So here it is. It rips up right here. Where is it? Right here is where we're at, and it moves up pretty strong. Now I've learned that I don't really like to trade. Like, look at this. This is insane. So this is a 5-minute candle. So for 5 minutes, this thing just was beautiful, and then it just starts to head down. What I have learned, and that coincides with what you see here. These are 1 minute candles, right? So that's 1 minute, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for 5 minutes, this thing just ran up. But what I have found is that I don't like to trade within this first candle without usually, unless I get in really early or there has to be some kind of verification past that. So I'm either looking for some kind of bull flag or some kind of pullback. And for anyone new here, pullback, I'll explain a pullback in another video. Or like this candle right here needed to start above this one. And I'm like, okay, I think I'm interested in this trade now. And so I enter in right here on this third candle right here at 57 cents with 2,500 shares. And I set my stop loss to, I think it was 53 cents. I was willing to, I'm sorry, 53 cents. So I was going to go maybe 4 cents or 5 cents, which is kind of a lot on a penny stock, but I probably should have done something a little bit different, because the odds of me making a bunch of money on a penny stock or having it go up 10, 20 cents, for me anyway, has not been that great. But anyway, that's what I said. So I want to get out at 53 cents. It runs up, and then it runs up again, and I'm still in it. So at this point, once it gets past this candle, I'm like, okay, now my stop loss is at the low of this candle. So now my stop loss is right here at 62 cents. So we've already made, 5 cents. And then it goes up another candle. And I'm like, okay, now my new stop loss is the previous candle's low. I'm like, we're making some money here. Now it gets all the way up to 73 cents. And I'm actually up over $300. But I really wanted to make sure I didn't cap my winner. So I wanted to wait for some kind of sign to get out. So this candle forms right here. And it came at 73, ends up closing around 67, and I still wasn't at my stop loss here at 63 cents. But then as soon as I saw this candle form, I didn't see a whole lot of action here. I just got out, and for a profit of $238. So we got an alert on a scanner. We didn't go in early. We waited for confirmation, which is this candle right here. And then I got in a little late, actually. I got on this next candle because for whatever reason. Let's see, what time did I actually get in on this? This was 15 seconds after. It's not that late. So I was in at the 2-minute mark. It's fine. Anyway, that's my biggest day on this small account challenge. And, I learned a lot of lessons the last couple weeks, and this one was a result of those hard lessons learned. I lost a little bit of money last week. This gives me a nice little cushion going into January. And so let's see where we're at right now. That is a nice little bump. That makes me very happy. And so we started at $1,000. We're at $1,323. I did actually trade with more buying power today. I added a little bit of money to this account, and I'll notate that in here. A few $100s of buying power to this account that I had gotten over the holidays, and so I'll add that in here and share that with you guys. But a couple of things: we've got total of 10 trades, a 70% win rate, which is great. We have 9 trading days. That $5 one I didn't add in here, so that would actually be another win. I'll make sure to get that added in here. And we're up $323 so far on this challenge, and I couldn't be happier about that. But you guys have seen the waves of my emotions on these days. I feel great. On my losing days, we learn a lot, and as long as I don't lose too much, it is what it is. I have decided that I'll probably be switching over to Webull. So this is Thinkorswim, what you're seeing here. Also, let me show you what this did. So this is pre-market. This was at 4:00 in the morning right here. Let me show you what this thing did when the market opened. So when the market opened, it I had already traded. I used all my buying power for the day. I couldn't trade this. Now, this is where you're at a disadvantage if you don't have a margin account or you don't have $25,000 or more in your account, because I could have traded my full buying power in pre-market, and then I knew this stock was going to go up. I could just tell that it was going to go up at the open, and it went up at the open. I mean, it opened here at 53 cents. Let's see, 53. Yeah, this thing went up 25 cents. So it opened down here. It shot up in that first minute. That's 5 minutes. Sorry. Wow, look at that. That's a massive move, actually. I kind of felt bad I wasn't unable to trade that. Like, geez, that's 5 minutes. So yeah, here we go. In the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, this thing goes up by how much? It goes from $52 to a high of like 77 or so. It goes up 46% in 5 minutes. But with an account, with a margin account or account over $25,000, I would have been able to trade again, and I would have probably traded again on that. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for hanging out as long as you have, and I just really love, this is good for me to be able to talk about this with you guys, because it helps me process my thoughts and keeps me transparent as well on losing days and winning days, and hopefully you guys learn something along the way as well. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.